Hello everyone, this is the third lecture in AC to AC converters, and in this lecture I'll discuss about the single phase AC to AC converter for RL load. In the last class I discussed the single phase AC to AC converter for resistive load. So here you can see again we are having the same circuit. Here this side we are having input voltage, that is AC, and we are having two thyristors connected in anti-parallel fashion, and we are having one RL load. Okay, so these thyristors actually they are turned on. So for example, this S1 will be turned on for positive cycle of the input, and this thyristor S2 will be turned on for a negative cycle of the input. Okay, so for example, if we are triggering this S1 at an angle of alpha, so this S2 will be turned on at an angle of pi plus alpha. Okay, so by changing the alpha value, actually we can change the RMS output voltage. Okay, so here you can see the if we apply the KVL, so we will get Vm sin omega t is equal to R into I naught into t plus L d I naught t over dt. So here current is actually function of time. That's why I have written I naught t. So this is the drop in this resistance, and this is the drop in this inductor. Okay, so this is first order differential equation. Okay, so you can see here that we are having pure sinusoidal waveform as input, which is having 50 hertz frequency. Okay, so whenever the thyristor is triggered at alpha, the current will start to flow. So input and output, they will be connected through this thyristor. Okay, so you can see that current is flowing from alpha, but it will not be zero at pi. Okay, because of the inductive load. So rather it will be 0 at an angle beta, which is higher than pi. Okay, so you can see here that the output actually we will get from alpha to beta. So from alpha, the output voltage will be equal to the input voltage. Then at pi, the output voltage becomes 0. But since the current is not 0 at pi value, so thyristor will continue to conduct. So you can see here that negative voltage also appears across the load. So when the current becomes 0 at an angle beta, at that point of time, the voltage will become 0. So it will remain 0. Then at pi plus alpha, the thyristor T2 is S2 is triggered. So in that case, again you can see that the current is flowing, but it is in negative direction. So current direction will be something like this. Okay, so negative direction current you will get from pi plus alpha to 2 pi, and then again it is not 0 at 2 pi, so it will be 0 at higher than 2 pi value. Okay, so you can see that the output voltage, now you are getting pi plus alpha at, after pi plus alpha the output voltage is equal to the input voltage. So here input voltage is this value, so you are getting this value. Okay, so it will be at 2 pi it is 0, then it will actually appear after 2 pi as well, because the current is not 0. So as soon the current becomes 0, the output voltage again becomes 0. Okay, so you can see that the output voltage will look something like this, and the output current is something like this. Okay, so if you want to plot what will be the switch voltage that it is blocking, so here you can see from this point of time to this alpha, this portion of the voltage is blocked by the switch. Similarly, this portion of the voltage is blocked by the switch. Okay, so this is the voltage across the switch. Now this is the first order differential equation. If you solve by Laplace transform, or you can also solve by differential equation method, so you will have one forced response and one natural response. If you substitute those values, you will get the expression for this output current to be this value, that is Vm upon Z sin omega t minus theta minus sin alpha minus theta e to the power alpha minus omega t upon omega tau, and this value of the current is from alpha to beta. and rest of the time it is 0. Okay, it is 0 otherwise, where Z is the impedance of this RL load, which is square root R square plus omega L square, and theta is the phase angle, that is tan inverse omega L upon R. Okay, so you can see from here that if you want to calculate the beta value, so simply you can do that by substituting I naught beta to be 0, which is equal to Vm upon Z. So omega t you have to substitute beta, so beta minus theta minus sine alpha minus theta sine alpha minus again omega t you have to substitute beta divided by omega tau. If you solve this equation, this is nonlinear equation, so you can solve by any iterative method to calculate the value of beta. Okay, so this beta value actually is dependent upon the value of this inductor. Okay, so more the inductance value you will select, the more will be the beta value. Okay, so we are applying the gate pulse for this thyristor at alpha and for this thyristor at pi plus alpha. Okay, now we can find what will be the RMS value of the output voltage, rather output current. So output current, you have seen that if you want to calculate the RMS value, you have to square this function. So once you will square, this negative portion will appear uh, this side. So period you will find that it is pi, and current you are getting only in alpha to beta. So you have to root mean square. So mean if you are doing, so you have to take 1 upon pi, then integration alpha to beta, that will give the mean. Then current square, so I naught square, this function you have to take square, then d omega t. So you can see that this is the mean, this is the square. Okay, and this is the square root. Okay, so this will give the output RMS current. Now the power absorbed by the load will be determined by P naught is equal to I naught square into R. Similarly, you can find what will be the RMS current in each SCR, that will be I naught RMS upon square root 2. Okay, also you can find what will be the this SCR average value, that will be 1 upon 2 pi, that is total period for calculating the average from actual waveform, and the current is appearing only in alpha to beta I naught omega t d omega t. Okay, so you can find SCR average value from that equation. Okay, now in that figure the source voltage is 120 volt RMS at 60 hertz, and the load is a series RL combination with R is equal to 20 and L is equal to 50 millihenry. The delay angle is given 90 degree. You have to determine an expression for load current for the first half period. Okay, the RMS load current, the RMS SCR current, the average SCR current, the power delivered to the load. If the power factor is some value is given, so you can substitute actually the different values. So first you have to find what is the impedance, so that is square root R square plus omega L square. If you substitute the values, you are getting 27.5 ohm. Theta is tan inverse omega L upon R. Omega tau you can calculate, Vm upon Z you can calculate. These values you will need to calculate the current expression. So that is Vm upon Z sin alpha minus theta e to the power alpha upon omega t. If you see from the previous expression. Okay, so substitute in that, you will get current expression to be something like this. Okay, so that is for omega t alpha to beta. This is straightforward problem. You have to substitute each values in the expression that we have just derived. Okay, now you can find what will be the beta value. Similarly, RMS value of the load current, once you know the expression, you have to square that d omega t alpha to beta. Beta we have found something 3.83 radian. Alpha is 1.57 because it is pi by 2. So you are getting output RMS value to be 2.71 amperes. the RMS current in each SCR. You